So you've just finished your run and you're looking for some yoga. You've come to the right place. My name is Carrie and I'm going to lead you through a yoga flow that will help ease away any tired muscles and stretch out any tender bits. So hop on your mat and we'll get started. All right, so let's start by standing in mountain pose. So mountain pose, rocking back and forth so that you can feel your feet on the mat, and then settling in, standing up nice and tall. Maybe bend your knees a little bit and then straighten them so that your knees line up over your ankles. Your hips are over your knees, shoulders and ears are over those hips. Having your palms facing out, closing your eyes, maybe tucking your chin in a little bit, and just see how it feels to be standing up like a mountain. After running, where your forward movement, let's see if we can find this mountain pose. Feeling all four corners of each foot rooting down into the earth. Maybe bringing your hands to your lower abdomen, taking a moment to breathe all the way down into your belly, filling it up nice and full, and letting it go. Fantastic. Let's reach the arms all the way up. Reaching up, bringing the palms together. And we're going to slowly fold over the hips. So if your back is tender, you can keep your knees bent a little bit. Coming into our forward fold here, allowing your head to relax down, maybe shaking your head yes and no. Maybe even grabbing hold of your elbows and swaying from side to side. Feels really good on the low back. A little bit of a stretch for the hamstrings. Letting it all go. Just feeling all of that stress releasing from your shoulders. We'll release the hands, bringing them back down to the floor. Bend your knees and slowly roll yourself back up, keeping your chin tucked until you're feeling stable, and then letting your shoulders roll down your back. So we're going to get into the IT bands. So you can take your right foot across the left, making sure both feet are nice and stable, nice and solid on the floor. Standing up tall, squeezing those thighs together. We're going to reach the arms all the way up to the sky and then slowly folding down. So wherever your hands end up, just let them dangle there, maybe resting them on your shins. If you can reach the mat, fantastic. Just letting your head relax, breathing into the left side of that left leg. Good. And then squeezing your thighs, we're going to reach the arms all the way back up to the sky, bringing the palms together back to your heart. Let's uncross the legs. We'll do the other side. So taking the left leg across the right, again, making sure both feet are on the mat, squeezing those thighs together. We'll reach all the way up towards the sky. Palms come together and folding nice and mindfully and slowly over those hips. So this side might feel a little bit different from the other side. So just allowing those differences to happen, not forcing it. So wherever you're at, be okay with it. Breathing some love into those IT bands that just work so hard. And then squeezing the thighs together, let's reach the arms all the way back up, bringing those palms back together and down to your heart. uncrossing your legs, we'll come to the back of the mat, standing back in mountain pose. Let's reach all the way back up. And exhale, folding back down, checking out to see how the hamstrings feel now after we've stretched the IT bands. Then we'll just walk the hands forward, coming into a downward facing dog. See if you can get those heels to relax down towards the mat. And hips are rising up. We're going to take 5 breaths here. With each exhale, just sinking in a little bit deeper. Imagine somebody lifting your hips up a little bit higher towards the sky. Beautiful. Let's bring the knees down towards the mat. We're going to come into a low lunge. So bringing that right foot forward. Hands on either side of the right foot, getting that right knee in your armpit, sinking down, having that left knee back far enough so you can feel a nice stretch in the psoas muscle. Breathing here, maybe lifting your nose up towards the sky. Fantastic. Taking 5 breaths. With each breath, maybe sinking those hips a little bit deeper. Wonderful. From here, we're going to straighten out that right leg. Maybe walk your fingers back a little bit. Bringing your nose down towards your knee. Toes are pointing up towards the sky and letting those hamstrings get a good stretch here. Taking 5 breaths. And then walking your hands forward. Let's take that right leg back behind us. And we're going to sit down onto our heels. We're going to come into a nice toe stretch. So the toes, when you're running, are doing a lot. So let's see if we can stretch them the other way. So we're going to just lift the knees up, sinking back onto our heels. See if you can bring your hands back behind you. Just getting that nice stretch across the front of your calves and the top of your feet, top of your toes. Taking 3 more breaths here. And then letting your knees come back down. We'll bring our hands forward again. And let's bring that left foot forward, sinking into our low lunge on this side. Left knee in the armpit, hands on either side. Getting that right knee back a little further so you can really feel that stretch across that psoas muscle. Looking up and taking 5 breaths here. Beautiful. Let's walk the fingers back a little bit, straightening out that left leg, toes coming up, and bringing your nose down towards your knee. Taking 5 breaths here. See if you can pull that left hip crease back towards the back of the mat. Feeling a nice stretch in the hamstrings. And then we'll walk the fingers forward again. Let's take that left leg back. We're going to swing our legs around, coming all the way onto our backs. We're going to get into the hips here. So laying down onto your back, feeling that beautiful support of the floor, of the ground. Feels good after a nice run. Let's send the right toes up to the sky, maybe pointing your toes and rotating your ankle. And then the other direction. And then we'll let that right ankle rest onto the left knee. Maybe allow the right knee to move away from your body. Seeing how the hip feels here. If you feel like you can go a little deeper, let's thread the hands through, grabbing hold of the left leg from behind and easing it in towards your chest. Allowing your breath to go all the way down into your right hip, easing away any tension. If you want, you can even intensify it by taking that right elbow and just using it to move that right knee away. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. Allowing your breath to dissolve away any tension, any tightness. Beautiful. Releasing your hands. Let's bring our knees together. We're going to take our hands onto our feet, coming into a little cow shape, cow pose they call this. And you can bring your feet in towards your bum. Close your eyes, letting your shoulders relax. Taking 5 breaths here. Beautiful. Let's release the hands and bringing both feet back down onto the mat. We'll take the left toes to the sky, pointing them and just rotating your ankle one way. And then the other. Letting that left ankle rest onto your right knee. Allowing that left knee to move away from your body and checking in to see how this side feels. If it feels like you want to go deeper, you can bring your hands through, bringing that knee into your chest. And we'll take 5 breaths here. If you want to go even deeper still, you can use the left elbow to push away that left knee. Beautiful. Releasing your hands, crossing your knees, and let's take hold of the feet, bringing them in towards your bum. Noticing how this side feels. And releasing your hands, we'll bring both feet back down to the floor. Stretching your arms out nice and wide, we'll come into a spinal twist. So lift your hips up just an inch or two and send them over to the left. And let your knees float down to the right. So shoulders stay resting on the floor. And then maybe taking your head over to the left. We'll take 5 breaths here. Breathing all the way down the length of your spine. Just letting go. Letting your back relax and unlock. And bringing your head and your knees back to center, lifting your hips up and getting your spine nice and long. We'll bring the knees in for a hug and just rocking gently from side to side. And then bring your feet back to the floor, arms stretching back out. We'll do the other side for our spinal twist. So lift your hips and send them over to the right. Just a little bit, letting your knees float down to the left. And looking over to your right, shoulders remain relaxing. Sending that breath all the way down the length of your spine. With each exhale, letting go a little bit more. Beautiful. Let's bring the head and the knees back to center, lifting your hips. And bringing the knees in one more time for another hug, maybe even placing a hand on each knee and taking those knees into circles. Maybe moving each knee in different directions. Just doing what feels right for you. We're going to come into our final pose. So if you have a wall nearby, we're going to scooch our hip over towards that wall. And then we're going to swing the legs up. So coming into our waterfall pose, making sure your bum is tight to the wall, resting your legs up against the wall. Maybe letting your arms relax out. Maybe taking them up overhead. Whatever feels good for your shoulders, for your arms. Breathing here, allowing gravity to release any excess of fluids from your feet and your ankles. While you're here, see if you can silently count the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. Gradually getting your exhale to be twice as long as your inhale. And by getting the exhale twice as long as the inhale, taps into our parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest, the healing room. And you're welcome to stay with legs up the wall for as long as you like. And I hope you enjoyed this yoga for runners and hope to see you again soon. Namaste.